EKN Nation, welcome to a new edition of the OutLap, episode number 93. It is June 24th, 2025, and we are lining up to preview this coming weekend's United States Pro Kart Series Wisconsin Grand Prix. Today's episode number 93, presented by Sony Racing USA. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sony Kart. The Sony brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to the new exclusive importer, the karting distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sony Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. Visit Sony-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sony Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sony Racing USA network today. Sony Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Again, folks, my name is Rob Howden, joined by David Cole, episode 93 of the OutLap, kicking off our EKN Trackside coverage for this coming weekend's USPKS Wisconsin Grand Prix. The event being held at the Briggs & Stratton Motorplex at Road America up in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, June 27th to the 29th. David Cole, I was actually up there this weekend for the IndyCar event, alongside, of course, the USF Pro Championships, where I do the play-by-play there as well. A lot of chatter about Route 66 last weekend, the week before, and then about the USPKS coming this weekend.
Yeah, the Road America, amazing facility. Always great to be going there, and excited to get the second half of the United States Pro Kart Series underway with the Wisconsin Grand Prix coming up this weekend. The third round of the 4-round championship as we are into the 13th season, which began back in 2013. And this will be, we'll get into a little bit more about the track, but fourth time the USPKS has been to Road America.
Yeah, again, it's I remember going back there when it first opened up. Fantastic racetrack with a lot of drivers like a Graham Rahal spent some time there in the stars of karting days back in the mid-2000s. What are you thinking about for weather this weekend? I'll tell you one thing. When we were there this past weekend, it was kind of high 70s, low 80s on Thursday, Friday. We got baked on Saturday and Sunday, mid-90s, heat index over 100 degrees. Luckily, we had a bit of rain early, but nothing throughout the weekend. Looks like maybe low chance for rain for you guys.
Well, yeah, Rob, that's been the weather in this area of the country. We've been hit with very high heat indexes. It was 102 on Saturday, 105 here in Grand Rapids on Sunday. So yes, it's been a warm one. But looking at the weather again, I did the forecast outlook yesterday, so I'm trying to pull up again today because, again, of course, it's different. But yeah, high still in the 80s, so we'll see about that. But the percentage chance of rain is at 24, 20, and 45 now on Sunday. So that could be the issue Sunday afternoon as we are getting the main events underway. We could see some wet weather stroll through Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin.
I mentioned the track got built early in the 2000s, actually constructed in 2000. They did do that repave at the end of 2017. David, you'll go through much of the series that obviously have made stops at the Road America track. But just to start things off with the event notes, 0.8 of a mile, the A layout, clockwise direction. So down the bottom of the hill, climb back up all clockwise, and you ladder yourself back down. One of the things about the racetrack is so interesting is there is a massive elevation change because essentially it's from turn 6, 7, and 8 of the big track as they lead into the carousel. It's kind of right on the inside of the track right there. It's an amazing place to have it. But yeah, a lot of elevation change on that layout.
Yeah, the top, the highest elevation is at turn 7 and 6 for the road course. That is the where a lot of people take the golf carts up to go watch. As you can look down and see much of the facility, there's kind of a blind spot when they go down the hill from viewing from up top, but from down below you can see the entire racetrack. So it is a big elevation change from the bottom, from the start finish line all the way to the top, which is essentially turn 4. Because you have the turn 1 kink and then 2, 3, which is the S's, and then turn 4 is at the top of the hill. So, it's the one other thing too, Rob, is the repaving they did in 2017. It's not a surface that takes a lot of grip.
Okay.
So when you think of setups, it's almost a rain setup is what these guys are doing on a dry course. So there's not a lot of grip. So it's searching for grip is really so if your kart has a lot of grip already built into it, this is the racetrack for you, or if you're used to racetracks that don't have a lot of grip, this is it. So that's always been the case. Tire pressure has been a big factor in getting the right setup. So for those who race there all the time, and we'll get into that in our class by class, they'll shine. And those who are good everywhere else, they typically shine. But for some, it can be a troublesome weekend if you're not used to the conditions at Road America.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier that the old Snap-on Stars of Karting series was there. The World Karting Association ran once the Road America facility was built. They've had the Road Tax Grand Nationals there. I mentioned Route 66. That series has spent time there. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, Route 66 had a fantastic event with over 200 entries there as well. Cup Karts North America has taken their East Coast Pro, or their North program rather, to that facility as well. But for the USPKS, David, fourth time they've been there, back in 2020, 2021, 2022, took a couple of years off, back again in 2025.
Yeah, 2020 was the COVID year. They went to Road America because the schedule changed up, obviously, with the March. I believe that we were supposed to go to Ocala in March, and that got canceled due to COVID. So they added Road America, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, we had no idea about this racetrack." So we went back there in 2021 and 2022. And then they had a lot of other different facilities they wanted to go to with the series. So it's been off the calendar for a couple of years and now back. So you add Daytona, Trackhouse, Road America, and Newcastle. It's a pretty solid lineup of facilities for USPKS.
Before we go to our first break, Dave, let's run through the event schedule for those who are heading up to Road America this weekend. Give them a lineup of what they can see through Thursday through to Sunday.
So Thursday will be optional practice run by the racetrack, I believe, if not with a little bit of help from the USPKS officials. Friday is official practice, 4 rounds before you get into qualifying at the end of the day to set the grids for the 3 heat races that'll be running on Saturday. Those heat races will be at 12 laps. We do have KA Senior and KA Junior running the ABCD heat format. So they'll have 2 heats per round. So you'll have 6 heat races in both of those categories. Then that will set the grid for the main events on Sunday, which will be 22 laps, 20 for cadet, and KA Senior and KA Junior. If there's enough numbers right now, I think they're at about 50 because they're going to do 50 transfer to the main events. They will run B mains. Otherwise, they'll just put everybody in the main events, and we'll get a little bit of a break, or they'll push up the main events depending on the weather. Again, that's always going to be questionable on Sunday with the forecast right now.
So there you go, folks. Underway with this edition of the EKN OutLap, episode number 93, as we dive into the preview of this coming weekend's USPKS Wisconsin Grand Prix up at the Prix Stratton Motorplex at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. We get back after this break. We'll dive into the by the numbers, let you know what we are having in terms of a pre-registration coming into the weekend. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Sodi Kart. The Sodi brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to the new exclusive importer, the Karting Distribution, led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Sodi Kart is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sodi Racing chassis line offers product in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sodi Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sodi brand to several local clubs and regional programs. The Sodi Racing USA by PK Sports is the official race team, producing many victories in different levels across the board. And the new Pro Race Academy is designed to cater to the next generation of motor racing, helping boys and girls aiming to make their mark. Visit Sodi-Racing-USA.com to learn more about Sodi Kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sodi Racing USA network today. Sodi Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, Super Nationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. The Parolin Le Mans full-size chassis for junior and senior classes and the Parolin Opportunity model for cadet divisions have earned success weekend after weekend at all the major championships and events in both the USA and throughout Europe. The Parolin chassis lineup also includes the Invader shifter, along with the Daytona 4-cycle chassis and the Delfino Kid Kart. Karters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available all across North America. Parolin USA partners with several companies and race teams across the country to provide a strong dealer network to represent the brand locally and at the national level to support drivers throughout North America. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. Welcome back to episode number 93 of the EKN OutLap, the preview for this coming weekend's USPKS Wisconsin Grand Prix up at Road America. David, let's have a look at the by the numbers. 218 entries for Daytona, 233 at Trackhouse, 205 pre-entries coming into the Road America weekend. And as you mentioned already, the KA 100 junior category already having matched its Trackhouse numbers at 53 pre-entries for the weekend.
Yeah, big turnout again for the KA categories. So KA Junior leading away with 53. So if we don't get any more in that category, I got to assume they're going to put all 53 in the main event. Again, with Road America, you say only 0.8 of a mile, but it's a long 0.8 with the run up the hill, the run down the hill. There's a lot of track room to spread out to where lap traffic won't necessarily be an issue in the main event, unless, of course, you get incidents, which with 53 drivers in the field, we probably will. So 53 there, 46 for KA Senior, so maybe a couple more to fill that out as a sold-out category for the weekend. But the other categories are all sitting in the 20 range for Micro, Mini, X30 Junior, and X30 Pro, which, again, this weekend, we'll be doing 100% payback in terms of to the top 5 finishers in the field. So depending on how many entries will be there, will be the purse amount once that will be handed out on Sunday. Yeah, they're going to run for some big cash again. We'll see if Ryan Norberg can step it up. We'll see how it plays out here, as he's obviously won the first couple of races of the year. We'll dive into the class by class after this next break. David, maybe, obviously a little bit of a drop for Road America. Again, we're getting closer to the end of the season, and we always talk about people not running the entire program. Road America is a bit of a jaunt, a little bit more north as well. One of the places you have to get to, America's National Park of Speed, not just the actual track itself, but also everything going on with in Elkhart Lake. Just a fantastic area. Maybe one of the disappointments for me, David, is seeing just the 7 drivers in KA 100 Masters. It's been the USPKS has been kind of a cool place for the Masters drivers. 13 at Daytona, 15 at Trackhouse, just 7 here this weekend in an area, in a state that has a number of Masters drivers. Yeah, that's kind of concerning in terms of that. With you're seeing the big numbers in the Eastern regional programs. and not quite sure why we're not getting the numbers here. So be it the weekend that the race is happening, too much racing going on already. That's the concerning part, because we've seen Supercards USA drop this category. So now USBKS is really the only big major championship in terms of this side of the country. You had even low numbers at Challenge of the Americas as well too. So is it a nationwide issue where people are staying closer to home? But then you talk about it, Wisconsin has a tag masters program in the state of Wisconsin. So where are these drivers at? Or is it the level of competition's too high? Is it because you get in Renato Jadavid and Martin Stone, who are two phenomenal drivers, international drivers at that, and you're like, well, forget it, they're going to win. You don't know the mentality of what masters drivers are thinking. Again, families coming, family stuff happening. You got 4th of July coming up next weekend. So there's just so many different factors with masters racing. You just can't put one thing on it.
Agreed. Yep. Yeah, no doubt about that. All right, as I mentioned before, we're going to go class by class. We'll do that after this quick break. When we get back, X30 Pro and KA100 Senior up next. Fast, fair, and fun. Ignite Karting offers you all of that at an affordable price. Ignite Karting utilizes the spec Margay Ignite K3 chassis with a Briggs & Stratton 206 engine and the Hoosier R80 tire. Everyone in the rookie, junior, senior, heavy, and masters classes compete on the same Ignite K3 chassis, which puts all the emphasis squarely on driver development. Additionally, Ignite Karting is accessible at the local, regional, and national level. Special events for the season include the Ignite Majors that begin with the annual trip to the Daytona International Speedway as part of the WKA Daytona Kart Week, running in both the sprint and road racing events. Those in the Midwest can enjoy the regionally based Ignite Challenge, featuring 5 iconic facilities. Local club programs have also been established in states all across the country, Idaho to Texas, Nebraska to New York, with more tracks and clubs joining the Ignite Karting program. Be part of fast, fun, and great memories with Margay Racing at an Ignite track near you. All information on Ignite events and Ignite Kart packages, including dealers in your area, are available at ignitekarting.com. Get off the couch and onto the track this year. Ignite Karting. Fuel your passion. For over 90 years, DID has been the leading manufacturer for high-quality on- and off-road chain use. DID has been chosen by the top powersport athletes from all over the world and is continuing to grow every day. From the karting track or your off-road adventures to your long street bike trips, DID has a chain to fit your needs. Their kart chain lineup offers variations of chains from high-performance sealed chains to the industry-leading non-sealed 219 HTZ chain. The DID SDH pin treatment is the unique design that allows for a lighter chain for less rotational mass, while still keeping a high tensile strength for peak performance. If you're in the need for a high-quality chain, DID has a chain for all makes and models. With our cutting-edge chain lineup, take your ride to the next level with DID. Visit didchain.com to find a dealer near you. History, success, family. Those are the 3 words that can describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation located just outside of Indianapolis has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in the near 6 decades of business. Their online store features everything you need, continually adding new parts to their product line. From full karting packages, new engines, spare or replacement parts, and safety gear, find it all at CometKartSales.com. Their Comet Racing Engine service has won multiple major events and championships over decades of karting and continues to offer the best trackside service in the industry, specializing in IAME X30, IAME Swift, and other 2-cycle power plants. Make sure to head to CometKartSales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today. Back at it for this edition of the EKN OutLap. Rob Howden alongside David Cole. We had talked about the fact that the drivers in the X30 Pro category, 20 pre-entered coming into the weekend here. Ryan Norberg's won both races so far this year in the category, presented actually by his team, Rawlson Performance Group. In the points, Ryan Norberg leading the way over Paulie Massimino by 214 markers. He's got a good lead here now, coming out of the gate so strongly. Frankie Mossman, who ran in the USF Pro 2000 race at Road America this past weekend, third in points. Jacob Kolar in fourth, and Caden McQueen in fifth. We'll talk a little bit about McQueen here as well. But David, 20 drivers coming into the event. Ryan Norberg has been the driver to beat coming out of the gate.
Yeah, certainly has been. That was the case in Daytona, where he went on to sweep the weekend. Not necessarily a sweep at Trackhouse. Didn't get fast time in qualifying, but was able to score a lot of points and get that victory ahead of his teammates Hayden Jones and Gus Lawrence, who was visiting for that weekend. So Norberg's got a pretty solid lead ahead of Paulie Massimino, who was second in Daytona. Didn't quite have the weekend he wanted to have at his home racetrack and Trackhouse for this category, at least. So again, Norberg's got the advantage going in, and that was something that we've kind of figured going into the season. Road America, he's won there, so this isn't a new place for him. He's done well there in the past. So again, it's who's going to be able to step up, and of course, international drivers coming in. And really it's the focus on Joe Turney. The driver's just been amazing when he comes here to the U.S. He hasn't been here since, I believe, the Winter Series. So he's been focused on the international competition in Europe. So he hasn't been back this way. So he'll be visiting Road America for the first time, a place he's never been. So it'll be great to kind of get the feedback from him on the racetrack itself, the facility, and his outlook on the weekend when we get to see him Friday once we hit the racetrack. So, but that, you look at it, those are probably the top two drivers going into the weekend as far as victories.
Yeah, I know looking through kind of the order here, looking at the guys in points, I'm not seeing on the entry list, I'm not seeing Frankie Mossman, I'm not seeing Jacob Kolar. I had talked to Frankie on the weekend, and I think as I recall, he told me that he was considering coming and maybe running this weekend. I don't know.
I got a hold of him last night, and he said that he's going to focus on the car stuff now.
Okay, there you go.
So not doing use. I wouldn't be surprised to see him at the Summer Nationals, or he won't be actually, because I believe or is that a juniors weekend?
That's a juniors weekend.
You might see him at Newcastle. But again, Rob, I didn't say this. I should have said this in the bind of numbers, but this is the best 3 of 4 championship. So we're going to get into this a little bit later, drivers who are going to skip a race and still possibly be able to be in a championship chase. We've seen drivers already skip Daytona and be successful at Trackhouse. So now they're using that as their momentum to carry out the rest of the season and to hopefully be in the championship. I think X30 Pro is a little bit different in that when you get Ryan Norberg winning both races as he's had, because we don't have another category with 2 winners in that category. So a 2-time winner. So we've seen 2 different winners in all the categories except this one. So that best 3 out of 4 is definitely a curveball in terms of this championship chase. And we'll talk more about that later.
So 3rd place driver and 4th place driver, Mossman and Cole, are not on the entry list right now. Joe Turney, of course, the big story. We've talked about that. Norberg and Massimino, P1 and P2, and the points are there. Austin Garrison on the entry list as well. But some news coming out of the Velocity camp, David, for Sodi Kart drivers.
Yeah, Velocity making some news, adding Caden, or I can't find his name right now. I can't think right now. Thank you. I have to apologize. I don't have a lot of sleep. I can't speak right now.
David's had some family stuff he was working on.
Yeah. So, McQueen is joining Velocity Racing, jumping aboard the Sodi Kart, leaving Energy Corsa Americas, which he was scheduled to run with all season long here in his USA debut in 2025. So we'll get trackside, talk to McQueen. We tried messaging him multiple times. Hey, what's your plan? What's your plan? Never responded. So we'll have to speak with him face to face. And Velocity Racing also adding Zachary Clayman DeMello for the weekend as well too. So Velocity Racing going all in. They did bring in some drivers for the Summer Nationals, or the Spring Nationals and the Winter Nationals. So I think they keep just trying to build up a little bit of momentum under their tent.
Yeah. Other drivers we expect to watch be up front. Alan Isambard, of course, Enzo Vidmontian. Bunch of drivers involved in the action here, but of course, the pro pilots, as we know, racing for that 100% payback. So there will be some big money up front in that category. 20 in X30 Pro, David, 46 in KA100 Senior. It'll be a stacked field for sure. Brandon Jarson Crack Racing, rather, the sponsor of the KA100 category. The wins so far, James Overbeck and Paulie Massimino. Not surprisingly, with those wins on the season, they sit first and second place in points, separated by just 12 markers. Brandon Lemke, the veteran driver, not that far back with 121. Blake Nash and Sebastian Garzone in the fourth and fifth place spots in the points. David, lots of drivers doing double duty on the weekend to make this thing pretty exciting as well.
It certainly is. We already talked about McQueen and Zachary Clayman DeMello running for Velocity Racing on Sodi Kart. Well, they're going to do double duty for the team. So they're going to be in both X30 Pro and KA100 Senior, along with Joe Turney running double duty and Paulie Massimino running double duty, a few others as well too. But those four drivers running double duty, we could see a driver walk away with 2 victories in the senior categories for sure.
Let's talk a little bit about a couple of the other names that we don't always see as part of the action, or at least haven't seen in a number of years. Steve Welk on the docket for this weekend, and Chris Wareheim. Is like, this feels like Manufacturers Cup from like 2000 something or 1990 something. My goodness.
Well, the track wasn't built till 2000, but yes, in the early 2000s, I believe WK, or at least a Midwest Sprint Series or Route 66 event was up there with a Welk or Wareheim racing there, or even Stars of Karting in ICA days.
Dude, I'm thinking about Welk running into the WK Constructors Championship. I know we weren't in Wisconsin, but these are some names that we haven't seen for a long time. Good to see Welk and Wareheim back on the entry list.
Yeah, Welk joining Franklin Motorsports. His I forgot how to say it. Is it his sister's wife? Is that what he's
his brother-in-law?
Yeah. But anyway, with Franklin Motorsports on the Merlin, I think he's gonna do some driver coaching there out of World America. We got a article we're working on with those guys at Franklin and Steve Welk being part of it, along with Jamie Siraki.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wareheim, I'm shocked. I think it's the weight thing that is keeping them out of the Masters, maybe because they're skinny guys. They don't want to get into the Masters weight, but they certainly have. Wareheim, I think it was in 2022, raced in the Masters category, and I think he won or was at least on the podium one of those weekends. So again, they know the racetrack. You add in those guys doing double duty. You add in the regular competitors like the Overback Lemke, who has a lot of track knowledge here at Road America, is always fast. And the regular championship contenders. I mean, this is going to be a barn burner for sure.
Oh yeah. Look at the GFC drivers, Jake Drew and Keegan Kaminsky. Kaminsky coming off his West Coast Championship in the Challenge of the Americas. He's on fire right now. You already mentioned Cade McQueen doing double duty. How about a driver who's going to go 3 weekends straight, David, up at Road America? Caleb Gaffera with Holtz Driver Development ran in the Route 66 series. He also did the Tuesday night race, the club race in a 4-cycle at the Briggs & Stratton Motorplex the weekend before USF Pro Championships at IndyCar. And now he's back again. 3 straight weekends up at Road America for Caleb Gaffera. He'll be in the hunt. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to have a Wisconsin accent when he leaves.
He's probably had his share of brats, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah. So yeah, very interesting story to see that. It was a cool thing. I think that might be a paddock insider that we'll work on, because he's got to be living with the Holtz. I can't believe he's in an Airbnb there for 3 straight weeks.
No,
but
I think you're right.
Could be, but we'll dive into that more. Again, he was really fast at Trackhouse, his home racetrack, did well in Daytona. Just unfortunately recorded a DNF. So he has a possibility to kind of put himself in the championship hunt with a good weekend. But again, that's going to have to be with Overbeck and Massimino having issues. So Caleb Gaffera in the 6th spot, 412 points back. So yeah, he's got a lot of work ahead of him. He's going to need 2 strong weekends, one here at Road America and the next one at Newcastle.
This is a stacked field for sure, obviously, with 46 drivers. Let's just throw in names like Connor Ferris and Mick Gabriel. You go down to the driver who won both junior races at the Super Nationals last year, Sebastian Garzon with Orsolon Racing. He was in the USF 2000 race the year before. You have Adam Maxwell with AMAX. You've got Blake Nash with Nash Motorsports. Austin Olds with MPG. Austin kind of stepping things up right now as well. There's a lot of talent, David, that's going to be lining up in this one here. Eli Warren as well. Let's not forget Eli. There is a lot of great drivers. Eli, of course, beside Gaffera at Holtz Driver Development. The top 10 in this thing, top 15, is going to be absolutely stacked.
Top 20. I'll go all the way back to top 20.
You can.
So, yeah, this one's going to be the one everybody's watching all weekend.
All right, another break. When we get back, we'll preview X30 Junior, KA100 Junior, and KA100 Masters. The USPKS Wisconsin Grand Prix preview continuing after this break.
I'm Ken Unger, president of Charge and a sponsorship strategist who's helped drivers and teams unlock sponsorship success for over 2 decades, from IndyCar and NASCAR to grassroots karting. In karting, horsepower is great, but sponsorship power, that's how you really move up the grid. Whether you're a parent fueling your driver's dreams or an 18-year-old ready to take the next step in your career, my sponsorship success method is your secret weapon. I'll show you how to build your brand, pitch like a pro, and turn maybe next year into let's sign today. Ready to land your first sponsor? Visit sponsorshipsuccessmethod.com and start your journey to sponsorship success today. That's sponsorshipsuccessmethod.com.
Let decades of experience and success lead you to the top of the podium. Join Brandon Jarsacrack Racing as your race team at the sport's major events in the United States. Brandon Jarsacrack is a 4-time United States Pro Kart Series champion, along with a multi-time SuperKarts USA Pro Tour and WKA Manufacturers Cup Series race winner. Jarsacrack is ranked among one of the best from his generation to get behind the wheel of a racing kart. BJR provides full race team service and support at all USPKS, SCUSA, and Stars Championship Series events, along with trackside programs at the Trackhouse Motorplex in Mooresville, North Carolina. Partnering with Mike Doty Racing, Brandon's team of driver coaches and mechanics are passionate for the sport, providing decades of experience both on the track and working with many of today's karting standouts and current motorsport stars. Brandon Jarsacrack Racing offers a full range of services, including kart preparation, driver coaching, and race event support for both 2-cycle and 4-cycle competitors. BJR is an official LN Racing Kart team with OTK USA and is an official offset sport race team. Contact them today to develop a program based around your needs. Head to BrandonJarsacrack.com to learn more.
Welcome to AIM Sports and the groundbreaking Micron 6 karting data logger. Since its inception, AIM Sports has been at the forefront of motorsport technology, revolutionizing how racers gather data. From its early days, AIM has tailored its innovations to provide precise insights, allowing racers to fine-tune their strategies and push their limits. Fast forward to today, and we're excited to celebrate 30 years of Micron by introducing the latest evolution in karting data loggers, the Micron 6. Designed with cutting-edge features, including 25Hz GPS with mil-spec precision, a 6-axis inertial platform, shift lights and alarms, temperature inputs, and a host of wired and wireless expansions. With 2 CAN buses, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi, it's perfect for karting enthusiasts looking to enhance their game on the track. With its advanced suite of sensors, high-speed data acquisition, and easy-to-use interface, the Micron 6 delivers unparalleled performance on track. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this powerful tool helps you analyze every turn, every lap, even every heartbeat. Imagine a tool that not only records your lap times, but also analyzes parameters like speed, tire temperature, driver inputs, and engine performance. With the Micron 6, you'll gain insights that can shave seconds off your times and elevate your skills behind the wheel. Don't just drive, be data-driven. Join the AIM Sports community today and equip yourself with the Micron 6 to take your karting experience to the next level. Visit aimsports.com to learn more. AIM Sports, 30 years of Micron.
Welcome back to episode 93 of the EKN OutLap as we preview this coming weekend's Wisconsin Grand Prix, the third round of the United States Pro Kart Series. All starting off our EKN Trackside coverage. David Cole will be rolling up there on Thursday. We'll be Trackside Friday morning to roll through the entire weekend. Let's have a look at X30 Junior presented by Speed Concepts Racing. 24 drivers in X30 Junior. Theo Salamao and Max Weiland, the two winners on the season. But David, based on his consistency, it's actually Alexander Vanchev up front P1 over Ashton Woon by 175 points.
Yeah, Vanchev is leading the championship off of two runner-up finishes in the category, but it won't be for long as the Florida driver will not be in Wisconsin. I was able to reach him last night, and they're kind of looking at making the transition to car racing, and so they're skipping this weekend to kind of focus on that transition. He will be karting later on this year. He'll be at Newcastle for the Summer Nationals, but not making the trek up to Road America.
Yeah, that's massive news for a driver who was kind of lining up to be one of the, if not the top junior driver on the year. So that is huge news for him not being there. Let's have a look at the remainder of the top five in points. Vanchev, Woon, Salamao, Sarah Bradley up in third, 360 backs. And of course, is it Jack Kotowski?
No, Nico.
Jackson in the mini category. So Jack Kotowski back by 481. That's a big gap, David. You talked about the drop a little bit as well. But I expect, the four drivers that are part of the group to be in the fight up front. But there is some more news. Let's drop a little more what you got in there.
Well, yeah, with the Vanchev not coming in, so that's the wild one, and it's crazy because you look at Salameo, who nearly swept this category. He's sitting third in the championship, which will now be second, with Vanchev not being there. But again, like we just talked about in the last segment, best 3 out of 4. So Vanchev could skip this weekend and still come through with a runner-up finish in the finale at Newcastle and still be the champion. So there's a lot of moving bits and pieces to the championship. So don't put anybody to sleep just yet. So you talk Woon, Salameo, Bradley, Kotowski. They're all going to be there as well. You got Nathan Dupuis that's going to be there. He's not racing this category. So again, anything's up for grabs in this division, including drivers who are returning back after racing in this category. In Trackhouse, you got Lucas Palacio, the driver who's been racing the OKN junior category in Europe, who's been doing well, picked up victories over there, was in the hunt for this victory. Unfortunately, didn't quite get through with that. And then John Antonino, who was the top qualifier in this category. Yeah. I believe it was this category, or it was actually KA Junior. So, but showed very good speed in this category. So those two drivers could be in the mix to, again, if they do Trackhouse and Road America, be in the championship hunt when we leave Road America. So championship wise, don't put anything into it just yet because of the best 3 out of 4 format.
Yeah, I think that's the key. We're all kind of realizing that it's going to be up all the way to the very end of this one here. Dave, let's go to KA 100 Junior. We know a number of drivers doing double duty. This category brought to you by BBS Race Engines. The biggest field, pre-registered 53 drivers. Salameo winning as well. Max Christia with a victory. So Salameo with wins in both Junior and KA 100 Junior. So probably the X30. So Salameo and Christea with the wins, but again, just like in the X30 Junior category, neither of those drivers, the race winners, actually in first or second in points. Nathan Dupuis is the point leader by 82 markers over Julian Rivera. Travis Pettit in third. Yes, guys, have to go back to Salameo in fourth. Again, you got to have the consistency throughout the season to put the points up, but Nathan Dupuis rolls in here as the point leader.
Yeah, that's the wild part. Again, that's kind of the focus, is you got to be good every session out. And that's really what USBKS is kind of focusing on. When you don't have the two finals to where, say you could have really bad days early on and then perform in the main event, the two finals, it kind of keeps everybody, the storyline the same. With just having, one final per weekend, it changes the complex of the championship, especially with the best 3 out of 4 formats. So yeah, consistency is going to be key in terms of that. So we got Dupuis, Rivera, Pettit, and Salameo leading the way with Murphy there in 5th. So yeah, you could have a sweeping weekend like Salameo did in Daytona and then find yourself 4th in the championship, which definitely puts the emphasis on being consistent. So that's kind of the overall look at that. Again, with KA Jr. running the A, B, C, D heat format, you have the opportunity to be really good because, again, you're only racing half the field. You're not racing everybody all at once type scenario. So there is the opportunity to be there, and you just have to be consistent through those heat races and get through the main event as well, too. So a lot of different drivers that can be competitive, not just the top 5 here in the championship, but as you said, Cristia, who missed Daytona because he was coming off a broken leg. So his first race back, he came out and won, but he's not on the entry list. I don't think he's going to be there. Could be a walk-up thing. Again, not with the way our sport is, it's just, you never know who's going to show up. I guess, right?
John Antonino, we've talked about double duty there. Edward Kennedy back with the Energy Courses America's team. Nico Katowski mentioned him in top 5 in the X30 category. We already talked about Lucas Palacio. He's going to be right in the front of things for sure. Marco Samet, of course, Max Weiland. We talked about him in the X30 category as well. And then how about Luca Popescu coming off a big weekend out in Utah?
Yeah, finally got his first Challenge of the Americas victory in the 100cc category. So he's got to carry that momentum into Wisconsin, joining back up with the Rollison Performance Group when he does head east. So we'll see if he's able to carry that momentum to put himself up in the ranks here. I'm not quite sure where he was in previous races. Maybe this might be his first USPKS race of the season, actually.
Let's move to KA 100 Masters presented by Nash Motorsports. We talked about only 7 pre-entries right now. Maybe with some of the local drivers who are up there, they haven't got themselves pre-registered and will just be at track entries. David already mentioned these 2 names at the start of the show here. Renato Jador-David and Martin Stone, winners on the season. They sit first and second in points. Martin Stone up by 174 points. When I looked at the entries, I don't see Jador-David on there. That's interesting to see whether he could be a late entry. Brant Estes, Monday Lawyer, and Scott Falcone round out your top 5. Falcone is on the entry list, as is a driver who's going to throw himself most certainly into the middle of the fight for the race win. Route 66 winner and champion Adam Kreppen, David, on the docket here for Franklin Motorsports.
Yeah, he's going to be the favorite going into the weekend, knows this racetrack. So he's moving from race official, which he was the first 2 weekends, back to being a competitor. I think he's one of the rare instances where you do see that. Maybe Mike Smith, maybe another, and he's actually going to be there this weekend as a race official. So when Kreppen leaves, you got to start filling in the spots for some of the official spots. So, but yeah, I think RJD and Brant Estes might be walk-ups. Not sure about Monday Lawyer. But again, it's a best 3 of 4. So drivers can skip this and just go back to Newcastle and see where they end up championship wise. But that gives Martin Stone certainly the advantage going in for the championship. He's got a victory and a runner up already. So he can kind of use this as a, go for it all, or use it as a drop weekend if RJD and Brant Estes are not going to be there. So we'll see how things shake out once we get trackside.
We do have Laurent Mardan on the docket. Of course, not in the top 5 in points, but Mardan for Technokart USA. They're an Illinois-based team. Mardan, as we know, has won a lot of the major events, always running up front. So you throw Mardan in there with Falcone, Kreppen, Stone, maybe the late entry for Jador-David and Estes. The bottom line is there's still going to be a good battle up front between 3 or 4 drivers, David, when you guys go racing on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and if I recall from the past 3 events we've had there, this category has kind of been a photo finish each weekend, with especially with the long main events, because guys could be good early and then fall off late, or be struggling early and then come in with a long run and be right there at the end. So different scenarios certainly in this category.
Okay, folks, one more break, and we'll come back and wrap this thing up with Mini Swift, Micro Swift, and, of course, capping it all off. We'll give you some information more on the Wisconsin Grand Prix. We'll wrap it up after this. In karting, it's important to be supported by the right people. With over 40 years of experience in the sport, Trinity Karting Group has everything you need to make your program successful. We do it all, and we do it right. We offer trackside support and arrive and drive programs at many of karting's biggest East Coast events, full product sales and service, and professional coaching from our experienced staff. Trinity Karting Group is a full-service operation based at the Motorsports Country Club of Cincinnati, which gives us access to our custom-designed driver training facility. This allows us to offer one-on-one coaching to take you to the next level. From arrive and drive and coaching programs to the parts you need, let Trinity Karting Group provide you with customer service and a racing experience second to none. Trinity Karting Group is an official Kart Republic race team, providing full trackside support at all the major USA karting events, including the SCUSA Pro Tour, United States Pro Kart Series, the SCUSA Super Nationals, and other events throughout the season. TKG has Kart Republic, IAME, MG Novinco tires, and more products in stock for those in Ohio and the Midwest region. Trinity Karting Group has a long history in the sport, a winning pedigree, and we're dedicated to driver development. We take pride in our professional approach and our positive attitude. Let us build a custom race program for you. Give us a call at 513-421-4463 or check us out online at trinitykartinggroup.com. Wins at the sport's biggest races, as well as championships across all levels of karting, pack the resume for Nitro Kart. The Nitro Kart brand has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. If you want to win in cadet, both in 2-cycle and 4-cycle competition, get a Nitro Kart and join the team. Team Nitro Kart will be at all major events, trackside with Ryan Perry Motorsport, the official race team. Owner Ryan Perry and his RPM operation carries the full selection of Nitro Kart chassis and parts, while also providing the same driver development focus as Nitro Kart owner Nick Tucker. You can also join the Team Nitro Kart race team at all major 4-cycle races this season. Led by longtime Nitro Kart tuner Cody Johnson, Team Nitro Kart will be at all the major Cup Karts North America events with arrive and drive opportunities available for all ages. Nitro Motorsports is a true karts-to-karts driver development program that is already gaining success after launching in 2022. Victories and championships in the Trans Am Series has highlighted the team's start, along with the success in the new GR Cup by Toyota. Current and former karters can take advantage of this unique ladder system with Nitro Kart and Nitro Motorsports. Visit Nitro Kart online and find them on social media. Nitro Kart, race one or chase one. It's a storied brand in karting, and it's got a new home in North America. Energy Course Americas is the official distributor for the Energy Course karting chassis and product line here in the US and Canada. The Energy Course brand was founded in 1997 out of passion and skill. Manufactured in Italy, Energy Course has gained national and international recognition with success in all different categories. Energy Course Americas offers an online store for the entire product line of the Energy Course brand, including complete racing packages, spare parts, race gear, clothing, and more, providing an excellent shopping experience. Race the brand that 9 of the 20 drivers currently in Formula One competed on during their karting careers. Visit energycourse.io to see the latest deals and to learn more about Energy Course Americas. All right, let's cap off episode 93 of the EKN OutLap. Once again, this show brought to you by Sony Racing USA. The USPKS Wisconsin Grand Prix happening this coming weekend up at the Briggs & Stratton Motorplex at Road America. It's actually, I think, Trans Am and a number of Formula Car Series running this weekend as well. So if you're trackside, you're going to be able to watch the go-kart track, turn your head swivel to turn 7 and 8 through the carousel. Lots of racing throughout the weekend up at Road America. As I said, I was just there last weekend. Place looks absolutely beautiful as always. That place was packed for the IndyCar weekend with campers. It was a fantastic weekend. Is there going to be Miller Lights flying from turn 1 again? Well, listen, if I was in turn 1, I'd be waiting for people to throw Miller Lights at me. I'd say, like they threw at Ferrucci. So that was so good. That was awesome. I love it.
That was true NASCAR style, right?
It was awesome. I'm sure and listen, I guarantee he was thirsty because after that it was so hot up there. I cannot believe how hot it was on Sunday.
Yeah,
wow.
It was funny. They showed, I think it was who else ran out? Oh, Ray Hall ran out of gas, and McLaughlin ran out of gas. So when they showed those guys, everybody was looking for water and shade right away. So the cool suits can only do so much.
That's it. All right, let's back into it. We'll cap things off with Mini Swift and Micro Swift. The Mini Swift category presented by Sodi Racing USA. 26 entries for the event here this weekend. Jaden Francisco and Parker Ives with the race wins so far. David had mentioned before that Parker moving up into the junior class here this weekend. So that's going to open the door a little bit here for Francisco, who has a 146-point lead on Enzo Di Janeiro coming in. Maxwell Macha and Santiago Orioli, 4th and 5th in points. David, what do you look at here coming into the weekend for the drivers in Mini?
Yeah, Francisco's got the advantage in the championship, so he's going to be kind of the guy everybody's looking at. Not sure pace-wise where will he fit in. I wasn't able to look back at the route results. They're not online, so it's going to be too chaotic for me to try and go back to look at that. But I'm not sure if he ran there or not. It might have been, or it might have been somewhere else. But anyway, the Nitro kart's going to be fast, I would assume there, including the Trans Am cars that'll be for Nitro Motorsports on the big track as well. So we'll see if we can get maybe a photo of the Nitro Motorsports guys with the Nitro kart drivers there too. Awesome. Yeah. Enzo Di Janeiro was the guy in the winter. He just quite hasn't been able to recreate that here in the spring and summer months thus far. Orlioli, I believe, was a mini winner at Route now that I'm looking at it. So he could be a driver to make it 3 different winners on the season, but Di Janeiro as well too. Macha as well. Macha's been there all season long. So this championship's still up for grabs with the possibility of having our 3rd different winner on the season.
Yeah, I'll throw out Liam Nakawati and Cameron Johnson as well. I think drivers are going to see that they're going to be in the middle of fight. Johnson, of course, a local driver out of Milwaukee, running with Franklin Motorsports. He could be a driver who may be in the middle of the scrap as well. Let's move now over to the Micro Swift category. We had 26 in Mini, 29 in Micro. That means 55 total cadet drivers at the USPKS this weekend. We love seeing those big numbers in the cadet categories. Team Ferris, a sponsor of the Micro Swift class. Hudson Howard and Slate Harrell, the winners on the season so far. Harrell with the point lead over Lennox Lockhart coming in at 18 points. Alvaro Madero's back by only 114. Brody Stoffel with 138 points back ahead of Leo Simoni at 169. Brody he joined in on our autograph session, David, with the drivers in the, I believe it was, I think it was the USF Pro 2000 group. He was signing a bunch of autographs as well for the fans that were coming through as he was hanging out with the VRD drivers.
Oh, he was with VRD. Oh,
no, it was actually, I think, he was hanging out with Costello. He was beside Costello, right between Paps and VRD, though. I think it was Costello and Max Taylor.
Well, that's the thing. He's bouncing around from team to team because he's here with Jay Howard Driver Development, but he races with Kart CRG USA at the Texas Sprint Racing Series.
Here's the one connection. Both he and Costello.
Yes.
Phil Pignataro is the driver coach.
Correct. Yes. Or mechanic. He's not really a driver coach. I mean, come on, look at Phil.
Oh, you're going to pay for that, Cole.
He won't draft with me. So I gotta lay into him.
He's going to draft with me. So it's going to happen for sure.
So yes, that is the connection. So now that makes more sense. Yeah. Cause he's Phil's right-hand man right now. So.
Exactly. Well, so roll this out though, as we get into the category here. Top 9 drivers you have in your notes here in the championship, all at Road America. I love seeing that. Everybody's committed to the program. Top 9 of the points, all ready to go. Yeah.
So again, anything could happen. We've seen 2 different winners. Hudson Howard, who was probably at Road America as well too. He sits in 6th spot, so he's still in the championship hunt. So you win in Daytona, you end up 6th in the championship after a tough weekend at Trackhouse. So anything can really happen because, Slate Harold's coming in as the championship leader. What if he has a bad weekend at Road America? Then you look to Lennox Lockhart, who hasn't won. He's won on the season, but not in USPKS competition. Or Medeiros, he could come up as well. And Stoffel coming off of a runner-up victory at Trackhouse. And I guess he's been living at Road America as well too. So he could come up and take a victory. So again, a lot of different scenarios in this category. Dutch Westbrook's won already on the season. He's sitting 7th. Jack Katowski continues to grab podium finishes at the Stars program. So he's on the verge of getting his first big podium of the season at USPKS as well. So lots of different scenarios, lots of drivers in this category. So anything can happen. Again, micro racing, some of the best racing we've seen across the board, across the country.
So let's wrap things up here. Again, Dave will be rolling up there on Thursday for this weekend's USPKS race, the Wisconsin Grand Prix at the Briggs & Stratton Motorplex at Road America. Our hashtags for the weekend, hashtag EKN at USPKS, hashtag USPKS, hashtag Wisconsin Grand Prix, and hashtag Road America. David will patch into the Kart Chaser broadcast. So if you're not able to watch online, you can listen either on the mobile app that we have, the EKN Radio Network app, or on ekartingnews.com/live or ekartingnews.com/radio. David, heading back up to Road America. It's going to be a good time. Always a couple of good brats up there. You're going to get to stop off at Culver's along the way. Some pretty good pizza places up there as well.
Yeah, going to hit Culver's for sure. I mean, we do have them here, but it's a little bit better when you go to its homeland in Wisconsin. So
yeah.
I'm going to hit that. And it's right by the hotel as well. So that could always be the late night dinner. Yeah, I got to go to Harry's in Elkhart Lake. I haven't
Trust
been
me on
there
that.
yet. So
get the pizza at Harry's.
Going to definitely do that. Going to definitely hit up Seepkins one night, maybe two. We'll see how the weekend goes. I got to get through the week here and then get on the road and make sure everything's good, both work and home related as well. So looking forward to maybe getting some sleep as well at the hotel.
You definitely need some sleep. Again, folks, we'll look for David's Paddock Insider when he gets Trackside on Friday morning, getting things rolling throughout Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Round number 3 of this year's USPKS, going to be a barn burner up at one of the best racetracks in the country. Road America on the whole, and of course, the Briggs & Stratton Motorplex as well. Should be a great weekend up at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. David will have all the coverage. Of course, we'll wrap things up next week with the Debrief podcast to unpack everything that happened up in Wisconsin. Thanks for tuning into this edition of the EKN OutLap, episode 93, setting up for the weekend at Road America. Thanks for tuning in, folks. On behalf of David Cole, my name's Rob Howden. Bye for now.